afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this wet Wednesday. Good soaking for the flowers in the gardens.
That's right. If you have any plant or garden questions, Mark and I will let you know when it's time to call in. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will be taking your calls today.
But first, topping our news today, the woman who hit and killed a bicyclist in Madison yesterday is charged with homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. Governor Evers calls for a special session to remove the 150-year-old law banning abortions. We'll tell you how Republicans responded. And a student who survived the school shooting in Uvalde testifies in front of Congress about the need for gun control in the U.S. Let's take a look outside. It was started out wet, but it did gradually clear.
A day of sun, a day of rain.
Sun, then more rain chances. Dana's in the backyard with an umbrella, not a parasol.
Not a parasol today. No, I don't have enough sunshine right now on the patio, though off to the west, we might start to see a little bit of sun coming through for us in areas near Crawford, Grant counties and the western edge of Richland County. Some showers still moving through out on the patio right now. We have light drizzle coming down. In the last 24 hours, we have picked up some steady rain for Dane County. Areas northeast of Madison closer to about 1.5 to 2 inches of accumulation. Much of Dane County right around 1 inch, and then the southwest corner of the state just at about 1/2 inch for us. Not quite as much near Platteville. Looking ahead to the evening, or through the next few hours, the rain pulling away from us. And then temperatures expected to climb just a smidge. Right now we're at about 56 in Madison, 55 in Milwaukee. But notice our western counties where we're starting to get a bit of clearing already in the upper 60s. Tomorrow we're back to sunshine, highs climbing through the 70s. But then we move back to a rainy pattern on Friday. A little on again, off again for the work week. As far as traffic goes right now, a lot of green popping up. Kind of looks like my radar. Green all over the place for us. We are seeing slowdowns eastbound along the Beltline, though. Westbound, no major delays in downtown Madison. A few slow and go spots, but no major hiccups for us this evening. And the interstate in Rock County and Dane County, good north and southbound. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City and downtown to Sun Prairie. A 19-minute drive for us right now. We will take a closer look at when the next round of rain will build in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll check back, Dana. Thank you. Topping our news today, a Sun Prairie woman has been charged in connection with a crash that killed a bicyclist early yesterday morning on Madison's west side. 42-year-old Akima Jones was arrested shortly after the crash on a charge of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. Jones appeared in court today where the judge set a $10,000 cash bail. Jones is being held in the Dane County Jail on a tentative hit and run causing death, which has not officially been filed yet. Local law enforcement officials have not yet identified the victim. Governor Tony Evers is calling the state legislature into a special session to repeal a 173-year-old state law that criminalizes essentially all types of abortion.
Now, I know this is going to be a tough fight. I know that because for 3 state years I've had a ringside seat to the attacks on reproductive health care, and I vetoed every one of them. I've said all along I'll never stop fighting to defend reproductive rights and safe legal access to abortion as long as I'm governor. And today I'm asking Wisconsinites in every corner of our great state to join us in making their voices heard.
Evers says he wants the legislature to act because he believes families should have the choice to do what's right for them instead of having the decision made for them. The special session will happen 2 weeks from today. But don't expect it to last very long, as political reporter Will Keneally explains. Will?
So the session is almost certainly dead on arrival. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu said today that on the Senate side, it would only gavel out the session pretty much immediately, without any debate. This is par for the course for Evers' special sessions, which the Republican legislature has largely ignored. That's incredibly frustrating to Democrats like Madison's Francesca Hong.
It's cowardly they won't even debate the issue. This is about Wisconsin lives that are at stake. Abortion is healthcare. Reproductive healthcare is healthcare. This is about saving those lives to make sure that people have access to abortion care.
This is all ahead of an anticipated decision by the U.S. Supreme Court on abortion. If Roe v. Wade is overturned, Wisconsin's 1849 law will go into effect, banning almost all abortions in the state. The only exception is for pregnancies that threaten the life of the mother. It will just be gavelled out. The session is scheduled for June 22nd.
Will, thank you. Second Harvest Food Bank of Southern Wisconsin received a special gift today from a local family-owned farm, Jones Dairy Farm. A seventh-generation family business in Fort Atkinson donated a semi-trailer full of food. The donated food included brown rice, frozen carrots, garbanzo beans, quinoa, sunflower seeds, and black beans. In total, 19 pallets of food weighing more than 35,000 pounds were donated.
So what we'll be doing is listing that inventory so that our partners can go online and choose what they would like to receive. And because it's a donation that's made through Second Harvest, it will go out to our partners as a donation, so no cost to the partner pantries.
In addition to the food donation, Fortrans Incorporated, a family-owned truckload carrier specializing in temperature-controlled freight based in Fort Atkinson, provided the transportation for the food donation at no cost. Second Harvest Food Bank works with local food banks in 16 southwestern Wisconsin counties.
In a city council meeting stretching into the early hours of today, Madison's Common Council pushed through a massive redesign of the Metro transit system, featuring more frequent service and direct routes, but longer trips to bus stops for some. The adopted plan, including 17 amendments greenlit by the city's Transportation Policy and Planning Board last night. The system moves to the next step of implementation, a federally required equity analysis with a targeted a targeted date of June 2023 going into effect.
Implementation. That's a tough one.
Thank you.
Survivors, doctors, and families from Buffalo and Uvalde, Texas, faced lawmakers in Congress today,
telling members they need to meet the urgency of the moment and pass gun reforms now.
And we want to warn you, some of the testimony is highly emotional and disturbing. Fourth grader Mia Cirillo survived the slaughter in her Robb Elementary classroom by playing dead and smearing blood on her body.
He shot my friend that was next to me, and I thought he was going to come back to the room, so I grabbed the blood and put it all over me.
In the middle of this national horror, anguish on Capitol Hill as victims desperately pleaded with lawmakers to take action. Zenaida Everhart's son Zaire survived the Buffalo massacre. Everhart told members of the House her son will have shrapnel in his body for the rest of his life. A pediatrician who responded in Uvalde told Congress children's bodies were pulverized and decapitated by the bullets.
We are lying on the operating table, riddled with bullets like the children of Robb Elementary and so many other schools.
Late this afternoon, the House is expected to vote on a package of 8 different gun control bills that cleared the House Judiciary Committee along party lines last week.
And following the tragedy at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, fourth graders from Middleton have come together and raised over $3,000 to donate to the school. Students put together baskets to raffle off and wrote letters to send to the staff and students at Robb Elementary. This all started the morning after the shooting in Uvalde, when students wanted to know how they could support the school thousands of miles away. One of the teachers behind the donation elaborated on what they intend the money to do once it gets to Uvalde.
So our hope would be that they do things for staff to, bring in coffee or take the kids to a bowling field trip, or just do things to help rebuild their school community and have some sense of joy that maybe we can bring them.
3 fourth grade classes that took part in the drive, and each class had a different theme for their baskets. In total, there are 13 baskets with all kinds of different items going to Uvalde. Members of the committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol are promising explosive new information that will come to light during tomorrow's primetime public hearings.
Natalie Brand has a preview of what to expect.
Nearly 1 year after a House Select Committee formed to investigate the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, the panel will hold a primetime hearing to reveal its findings so far.
We're ready to tell the story.
The committee says it will present previously unseen material and witness testimony, but committee members have not yet revealed who will appear.
I can say that certainly one of the themes that we will be fleshing out is the fact that in advance of the 6th, that there was an understanding of the propensity for violence that day.
The 9-member select committee is made up of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans. They have interviewed around 1,000 witnesses and received 140,000 documents in connection with the deadly attack. 5 officers lost their lives in relation to January 6th.
We owe it to the officers who lost their lives and the officers who were injured to tell that story and to ensure that this never happens again.
The committee has also issued dozens of subpoenas, including those to former White House officials and allies of President Trump who were involved in the planning of the rally held at the Ellipse just before the Capitol attack. According to CBS News polling, most Americans, 70%, said it's important to find out what happened that day and who was involved. But Republicans are divided on the issue, with most saying they don't want their party to focus on it.
This committee is not about seeking the truth. It is a smear campaign against President Donald Trump.
Thursday will be just the first of a series of hearings in June to lay out the investigation into what the committee calls a coordinated, multi-step effort to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election and prevent the transfer of power. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Well, primary voters in California have narrowed down the list of candidates in the November election. In the closely watched race for the Los Angeles mayor, it's Congresswoman Karen Bass versus moderate Democrat and former Republican billionaire developer Rick Caruso, both of them running on a tough crime message. Bass was once considered by Joe Biden to be his 2020 running mate. Also notable congressional results in California. Congressman Dave Votto is running second right now, but likely to advance to a runoff in the district now drawn to favor Democrats. He's one of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach former President Trump and the first to face voters since that decision.
A man carrying a gun, a knife, and zip ties was arrested today near Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home in Maryland after threatening to kill the justice. 26-year-old Nicholas John Roski of Simi Valley, California, was identified in a criminal complaint charging him with the attempted murder of a Supreme Court justice. Roski was dressed in black when he arrived by taxi just after 1 o'clock in the morning outside of Kavanaugh's home in a Washington, D.C. suburb. Roski had a Glock 17 pistol, ammunition, a knife, pepper spray, duct tape, and other items that he told police he would use to break into Kavanaugh's home and to kill him.
Well, closer to home, the 4 peregrine falcon chicks that hatched at a Madison gas and electric generating station now have names. It's a live picture. Harmony, Maestro, Presto, and Sonata hatched last month at the downtown Madison Blount generating station. The chicks were named to honor the return of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's concerts on the square to the Capitol Square. Harmony, Maestro, and Sonata are all females, while Presto is a male. We don't know who's who here. Take your pick. The chick's mother, Trudy, laid 4 eggs in April. MG&E officials said this is the 8th year that Trudy and her mate Melvin have laid their eggs in the station's nesting box. Trudy hatched 3 chicks last year and 4 in 2020.
We've been watching them all day today. It's been really fun to watch. Yeah,
they're getting big. Well, still to come at 4, get ready for a challenging summer travel season.
When we come back, CBS travel expert Peter Greenberg will join us with some tips on finding affordable travel this summer. That's when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
All of that dust and pollen can really do a number on your allergies. If your old windows are letting the outside in, then you need Eco Sky windows exclusively from Mad City Windows, and 114% more airtight than your average vinyl windows.
We got to pick out the options right then and there, but they were flexible. If we wanted to change later, we still could.
Now's the time to act during our 60-60-60 sale. Receive 60% off installation of new windows, 60 months, 0 interest, senior and military discounts, and a $60 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate, plus a bonus. Call during this program and receive $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. From Madison and South Central Wisconsin, call 608-338-1616. Here's that number again, 608-338-1616.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of industry-leading Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing offers from your local Cub Cadet dealer today. To find the dealer near you, visit CubCadetDealers.com.
It started somewhere between a cuddle and a struggle. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9.
HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Welcome! Hi.
Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
Welcome back. The World Bank released a warning this morning that things are going to get worse before they get better.
It is just the latest group to sound the alarm about a potential global recession. The bank is cutting its growth estimate for this year even further. Last year, the global economy grew 5.7%. This year's growth estimate is now sharply down to less than 3%.
The sharpness of the slowdown is really concerning. We think it's the biggest slowdown of the global economy in 80 years. I think many countries will see a recession in this cycle.
Stagflation is the new buzzword. It's a phenomenon that combines stagnant economic growth with high inflation and high unemployment. Continuing challenges such as the war in Ukraine, supply chain issues, and the continuing waves of COVID are harming both consumers and employers and could send world markets into a downturn.
Stocks ended a two-day winning streak. The Dow Industrials fell 269 points, closing at 32,910. The NASDAQ lost 88. The S&P 500 gave up 44. Well, lots of travelers are starting to launch their summer vacations.
And many are still facing a lot of flight cancellations after big problems, you'll recall, over the Memorial Day weekend.
CBS News senior travel editor Peter Greenberg has the travel outlook for the rest of the summer. We talked to him earlier from his hotel room in Paris. Let's start with summer travel, and the first big test Memorial Day weekend was kind of a meltdown. What happened?
Well, it was a meltdown. It was a perfect storm of overscheduling, understaffing, and then a little weather thrown in, and then all bets were off. But it's getting worse than that. It's not going to get better. We're going to see some more repetitions of what happened last weekend as we move through the rest of the summer, because the airlines had to come to grips with a severe pilot shortage that they haven't been able to fill. And earlier this week, to give you an indication of that, American Airlines actually grounded 100 planes. And they had to admit, the reason why they grounded the planes, they had no pilots to fly them. So what does this mean for us? A more crowded summer if you get into a plane, fewer flights, and higher airfares, and that's probably going to extend through the middle of September.
Oh, you're full of good news, Peter. Well, a lot of people are very worried about all of these recent cancellations. So if you have a trip coming up anytime this summer, is there anything you can do to minimize the chance of that happening to you?
Well, you can at least get a little bit of a head start, and don't depend on the internet. Have a conversation with the airline. So, for example, get the first flight of the day out of Madison, but then call the airline and say, hey, is my plane that's taking me out tomorrow morning, does it overnight in Madison the night before? Because if it does, there's about a 90% chance that the crew is going to stay with that flight and you'll get out the next morning.
What are your best recommendations, considering all of this, for travel right now? Air, driving, staying home?
I would never say stay at home. There's got to be a better way than that. So what I'm going to suggest is this. Check out the trains. Amtrak's got a pretty good route network. They have some passes they don't promote very well, but they have them. $500 for 10 days, 15 days of unlimited travel. Kids under the age of 12 go for $250. Wow. But the other thing I'd suggest is think of where I am right now, where the power of the U.S. dollar is very strong against the euro. I'm in Paris. And guess what? The airfare from New York to Paris right now is less than the airfare from New York to St. Louis. The euro being the bargain makes it easier for you to buy stuff in terms of local goods and services. And then there's one other thing you want to do, whether you're flying within the United States or going overseas. We have a tendency to want to make a round-trip reservation. In fact, we go online, we look at that. Instead, go ahead and price that, but then go back online and look at what it would cost you to buy 2 individual one-way tickets for each direction on 2 separate airlines. You might be quite surprised at the fare differential when you total it up.
Oh, that's
so, for example, an airfare between LA and New York of $1,200, that's the round-trip fare. Now you go online and price out 2 one-way tickets on Airline A and Airline B. Airline A is $480. The return flight on Airline B is $370. That totals $850. You just saved $350.
Very interesting. Great tip. Well, when should people book their trips if they haven't already?
Well, right now you're in for a shock in terms of sticker price all the way through the summer, and it's only going to get worse. However, if you look at the forward booking projections, after about September 15th, it goes off a cliff. It plummets. And that's when you're going to see fares go from $1,200 to $250 round trip in many markets. So if you can wait till that magic month of September when the weather is still great, that's when you want to do it.
Peter, great advice as always. Enjoy Paris if you can. Yes. Good to see you again. See you next time.
You got it, Mark and Susan.
Thanks, Peter. Great to see you.
Just full of good news today, aren't we?
Seriously. Well, luckily we'll get planned calls. That's happy news.
Yes,
and we saw the Falcons.
And we did.
That's 2 things.
There's more to come at 4. Well, there are more guns than people in the United States.
The question is why. We'll take a look at some of the answers coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Well, it gives you a feeling of security that you know you can trust these people. You can trust what they say. If they say they're going to come on a certain day at a certain time, you know, they do it.
Do like thousands of other folks and make the call to Mad City Windows. A+ rated with the BBB in several colors and styles to choose from. Champagne, bronze, and forest green, all backed with a lifetime warranty. We're just a click away at MadCityWindows.com. Now's the time to act during our 60-60-60 sale. Receive 60% off installation of new windows, 60 months zero interest, senior and military discounts, and a $60 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate, plus the bonus. Call during this program and receive $250 in Mad City cash towards future purchases. From Madison and South Central Wisconsin, call 608-338-1616. Here's that number again, 608-338-1616.
Fjords has been crafting beautifully designed functional furniture since 1941. Every aspect of Fjords furniture has been carefully engineered to create a higher level of relaxation. Right now at the Century House, purchase any Fjords furniture and receive up to 20% off. All models, all sizes, all colors. Experience the unmatched relaxation you can only achieve in Fjords furniture. Relaxation made beautiful. Visit the Century House at 3420 University Avenue in Madison or online at centuryhouseinc.com.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp or a petty officer from 73. and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably serve and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
I'm Alex Lasry, a Democrat running to beat Senator Ron Johnson.
And I'm Lauren Lasry, and this is our daughter Eleanor. I know Alex will always fight for working families.
To get more money in the pockets of working people and lower costs.
By making paid leave available and healthcare more affordable.
And I'll always be a relentless supporter of a woman's right to choose.
Especially now. Alex is exactly the kind of ally Tammy Baldwin needs in the Senate.
So I approve this message because we have to do better than having Ron Johnson as our senator.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
We'll take a look at this. A cow on the loose in Oklahoma proved elusive, prompting officials to call in professional cowboys for a bovine intervention. They quickly turned the traffic troubles into a roadside rodeo, roping the hot-footing heifer into submission. There she goes. You don't want that in the middle of a free. She's fine.
Okay. She's fine, yes.
Okay.
We'll
I just want to make
Don't
sure
make her run for it in Oklahoma.
Sure.
No,
right? Yeah.
Good advice.
Cowboys came out pretty fast. That was fun to watch.
It is fun to watch. A lot of beneficial rain today.
Right. We had some pretty heavier showers coming through early this morning, and now we're looking at sunshine for tomorrow, and then a little more rain. We'll take a closer look at how things time out through the weekend right after the break.
For high-performance windows that block outside noise, call Mad City, your home for exclusive Eco Sky windows featuring sky mirror technology and built-in weather barriers. And be sure to ask about the grid designs inside the glass for easy cleaning. Check us out at madcitywindows.com. Your friends and neighbors are calling in. Don't you miss out. Call now during our 60-60-60 sale. Receive 60% off installation of new windows, 60 months, 0 interest, senior and military discounts, and a $60 Walmart gift card with your free in-home estimate, plus a bonus. Last chance in this program to call to receive $250 in Mad City cash towards future home improvements. From Madison and South Central Wisconsin, call 608-338-1616. Here's that number again, 608-338-1616.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there is now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I've experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
When we needed new doors and windows for our home, we were looking for someone we could trust.
We've done the bargain brand windows. We've done the runaround.
What we loved about Next Door and Window is that they were different. The experts guided us through every step of their no-pressure process.
We really loved their educational approach. Next Door and Window helped us understand what was right for us.
They have a totally different approach to doors and windows. They made the window and door replacement process simple.
Call 844-600-NEXT to get 50% off your installation.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, it is still a little drizzly outside for us right now. We're expecting things to at least clear up as we look ahead to tomorrow. We get a sunny day.
in between our rounds of rain. That's been the pattern really for the last few days. More showers expected as we look ahead to Friday and into Saturday. And by next week, our temperatures climb up quite a bit, a little summer pattern, a little warm up for us. Overall, our Doppler track becoming more quiet over the last few hours. We had some heavier rainfall early this morning. We might still see another isolated shower or two over the next hour or two, but things really expected to clear up as we get closer to midnight, and that's going to lead us into a clear sky to start off the day tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s for daybreak on Thursday. Afternoon highs will be in the mid to upper 70s with sunshine for us on Thursday. The clouds build back in, and as we look ahead to Friday, we will have a chance for some showers, possibly some thunderstorms in the afternoon, but notice it's going to be very spotty for us on Friday. Some areas might not pick up any rain. Others could see some heavier showers in the afternoon and evening on Friday before things clear out heading later overnight. Overall rainfall totals where we see those isolated showers pop up about 1/2 inch, so we could have some quick heavy rainfall. But again, other areas might not see much, so Friday might be one of those days where we just keep an eye on the radar, not concerned about severe weather, but if you do have outdoor evening plans on Friday, want to make sure those rain showers don't pop up and wash things out. For tomorrow, high temperatures will be in the mid-60s, a very seasonable afternoon. Mostly sunny sky and mild outside. Now, as we look ahead to next week, as I mentioned, it does look a little warmer outside. In fact, our 6 to 10 day and the 8 to 14 day outlook yet again lining up with a warm trend. We're seeing that above average pull for our high temperatures. And it's not just for southern Wisconsin. This really extends throughout the country. We're all expecting a warm up heading into the middle of the month, and at that point, looking ahead to the start of summer. For today, or for tomorrow, sunshine with highs in the mid-70s or in the mid-70s on Friday with shower chances in the afternoon and evening. Spotty showers expected for us, so we'll just keep an eye on the radar for Friday evening. Now on Saturday, more widespread rain expected in the late afternoon, and on Sunday, partly sunny skies with a slight thunderstorm chance late in the day. Sunday, we get close to 80 and we climb up into the 80s looking ahead to the start of next week. So that means we're going to start talking about heat index readings by the middle of next week, climbing up into the 90s. It's going to be hotter outside and also more humid. So because of that humidity, there's a slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms on Tuesday and Wednesday. Otherwise, the back half of next week does look dry right now with sun coming through. But man, with that sun and temperatures in the 80s, we're going to be pushing a lot of hydration, water, and sunscreen because it's going to feel like summer outside in the 80s. I know a lot of folks have not enjoyed the cool down over the last few days with the rain and the cloud coverage, but of course summer right around the corner and
when is summer? The 21st or 22nd?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. A couple weeks away.
Yes, meteorological summer starts June 1st.
Okay.
So yes, but this is...
And next week is summer.
Yeah, next week is summer. We are turning on the heat, and it does look like it's going to at least stay with us through the work week, that's for sure.
All right. Thanks for the warning.
Thanks, Dana.
Melt.
Well, many people say one reason for the increase in gun violence in this country is the sheer number of firearms in private hands.
According to the ATF, U.S. gun makers produced 11.3 million weapons in 2020. That is almost triple the number produced 20 years ago.
Jeff Pegues spoke to NYPD Deputy Commissioner John Miller about why there are so many guns on the street.
From a shot fired at a convenience store to a shootout on the street and stray bullets killing kids. Police say that they are seeing more guns on America's streets than ever before, some traceable, many not.
All of these were taken off the streets. All of these weapon systems were recovered off the streets of New York.
ATF Special Agent John DeVito and Deputy New York City Commissioner John Miller say gun arrests are up in the city, but there is a bigger problem.
80% of the people we arrest with loaded guns in the street are not in jail or in prison.
4,900 gun arrests last year alone. Only 17% of them were prosecuted. Only 17%? Yeah.
They believe a combination of factors, including backlogs in the courts caused by COVID and bail reform, are contributing to the problem.
So that's a combination of factors, including new laws in this state, in New York State, that say people should be released without bail, or if bail is to be set, it has to be a bail that the defendant can afford under the least restrictive conditions. So you're seeing a lot of people involved in gun crime who would have been in, who are out.
There is also a new influx of weapons moving into New York on what's sometimes called the Iron Pipeline, weapons with a higher bullet capacity and more firepower.
I wish it was a pipeline, because a pipeline would be easy to identify, investigate, and stop. What we have is an unknown number of garden hoses all over this country on a slow trickle that are feeding the criminal marketplace on a daily basis.
And now there is also what they've called the plastic pipeline. Plastic ghost gun parts ordered online and built at home. A tougher pipeline to shut down. After a recent raid, police found a machine still carving out new ghost gun parts to keep up with what law enforcement believes is currently an insatiable demand.
We've seen ghost guns being produced in very small apartments. We've seen them in basements. We've seen them in closets. You really don't need much room to put these guns together.
To combat the rise in gun violence, DeVito and Miller say that there has to be a renewed focus on prosecution.
If you arrest your way out of the gun problem and people go to jail, then you're going to find your gun problem is going to go down. When you're arresting your way through the gun problem and there is no consistent consequence to people carrying guns, you're going to see what you're seeing now, which is people are not afraid to carry. People are not afraid to shoot.
There are a lot of people in this country who feel the more guns that are out there, the safer we're going to be.
Statistics have proven that to be wrong again and again.
Miller believes that there is a boom on ghost gun orders right now ahead of a new rule taking effect in August that will require serial numbers stamped on the plastic guns, which will make it easier to trace them if they're used in a crime. Jeff Begay, CBS News, Washington.
Big problem. Well, coming up next on Live at 4, we'll take a sneak peek at Tom Brady's line of boxer briefs.
And then coming up next hour at 5, Madison Transit teaches us how to use our bikes on public transit in the area. We'll have that story coming up at 5.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Farxiga. Get inspired. Tour 30 custom homes and see the newest trends. The Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, is open daily, June 17th through 26th. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for tickets and more information.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steamer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible, so call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
Tonight at 5, creating a safe option for women. Governor Tony Evers calls for a special session to repeal Wisconsin's abortion law. Tonight, the obstacles that may stand in his way.
The next weather system will pass to our south Thursday night and Friday, bringing a chance of showers. By next week, rain chances will go down and temperatures will go way up. I'll tell you how warm it'll get at 5.
Then at 6, following the tragedy of Uvalde, local students look outside of their own school to help the hurting community. That's coming up tonight at 6.
Give the old weather satellite a spin. We end up in Toronto, shot of the harbor.
That's a great shot.
You been to Toronto?
No, I never
Great
have,
city.
actually.
It's a great city.
Yeah.
They use it a lot in movies for as a New York City background.
I can see why.
It's a lot cheaper.
Right. Looks like a little cloudy. What was the temp there today?
I don't know. 68 degrees. All right. Tom Brady is giving his wife a run for her money.
But unlike supermodel Gisele Bündchen, the football star was a little modest about flaunting his new project.
Here's Jeannie Mose with the story.
You've seen him in uniform and out of uniform. Now you're about to see him half naked.
Somebody's got a new underwear. What is this?
This is Tom Brady in his Brady brand underwear being teased by his wife, and the internet can't look away. Lord have mercy. Brady's packing heat. If I buy one, can you sign it? Tom tried to preserve his modesty when his wife went in for the close-up.
Let me see. Let me see your underwear. Is that Brady brand underwear?
Brady launched his own activewear clothing line about 6 months ago.
It's the toughest tee for the hardest workouts, and you know we love that.
Now he's adding undies, like these boxer briefs priced at $20 that you can wear to toss a football around. Or ride a motorcycle. Brady now joins the ranks of elite athletes who have flaunted their bodies to sell skivvies, from David Beckham in Armani undies clutching a massive rope, to Rafael Nadal serving up Armani and Tommy Hilfiger, to Cristiano Ronaldo sporting his own brand, and now Brady brand. Posted one fan, "Congrats, Tom. You're the second best underwear model in the family," a reference to Brady's model wife, Gisele Bündchen. Seen here modeling for Victoria's Secret, but there's one other quarterback who has a leg up on Brady when it comes to intimate under things.
Now, I don't wear pantyhose, but a beauty mist can make my legs look good. Imagine what they'll do for yours.
Joe Namath can give Tom Brady tips on how to show a little leg rather than hide it. Jeannie Mose, CNN.
Especially your legs.
New York.
That's hilarious. Don't think you can order them, though. We looked online. They're sold out.
Every size, every pattern, every color.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Yeah. All right, it's time to pick up the phone and get your plant and garden questions answered.
The number to call, 608-270-9933. Lisa Briggs is here from the Bruce Company. She'll take your calls right after this.
It's June Dairy Month, and we get to celebrate the fabulous dairy farmers all across the state of Wisconsin, including Mr. John Haig right here. We are in Dane, Wisconsin at Haig Dairy. Now, family is so important to you because it's what you live and breathe every day with your farming operation here. Why did you decide to go into farming with your family?
Well, we've been on this farm for almost 30 years now, and I got to watch my kids grow up on the farm and learn the responsibility of taking care of animals and the work ethic. And now I get to see my grandkids go through the same thing. So it's really a cool situation to be in.
Absolutely, and we need all the farmers we can get, right? Now, let's touch on the robotics. Robotics have been a part of your farm, I think, for 3 years. What difference has that made as far as flexibility for you, first and foremost, and then the cows?
Well, it's just made it a lot nicer for us because now we don't have to miss, all the kids' events. If we want, kids got a soccer game, we can go watch that and then come back and do chores afterwards, because the cows are still being milked on their own, and that's what's great about it for them, is if they're on their own schedule all day long. If they want to go out and get milk at 1 o'clock in the morning, they can.
They like it just as much as you do, right?
Yes, they do.
I know one of your favorite parts about being a farmer is letting the kids come, letting families come and giving tours. You're going to give the biggest tour of your life in a couple days. Tell us about the exciting event.
Well, on June 11th, we are hosting Dane County's Breakfast on the Farm, and so we are expecting between 5,000 and 6,000 people to come that day for a great meal of cheesy eggs, chocolate milk, yogurt, ice cream. So it's just a great meal, and it gives a chance for people to come out and experience what a farm is really like.
You had me on cheesy eggs. I will be here, John. A big congratulations to you. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
And I walked right into U.S. Cellular, and I said I want to choose any phone in here for free.
What'd he say?
He's unsure. Really nice guy. I had my pick of any phone from any brand, free, even the newest ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got the big screen?
Yeah.
Big storage?
Yeah.
Fits in your pocket?
Fits in my pocket. Yeah, it's a big phone, and that's what I wanted, and I got what I wanted.
At U.S. Cellular, we put you first. So choose any phone free. Plus, get unlimited data for just $30 a month. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Most senators couldn't tell you the cost of a gallon of milk. Thanks, Ruben. Or how much beef has gone up this year. But I'm not like most senators or any of the other millionaires running for Senate. My mom was a teacher and my dad worked third shift. I know how hard you work. And I know that by bringing manufacturing home, we create jobs and we lower costs. If we want to change Washington, we got to change the people we send there. I'm Mandela Barnes and I approve this message.
Some good news over in my corner. No accidents popping up right now. In fact, a lot of green throughout southern Wisconsin, though eastbound along the Beltline, a little slow due to some construction in the area. But again, no accidents for us currently. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Pizza masters from all over the Americas met in Buenos Aires to participate in the second annual Pan American Pizza Tournament. Contestants compete on stage with 12 ovens in front of 18 judges and 30 members of a jury made up of journalists, chefs, and cooks to choose the best pizza chef on the continent. The championships have a total of 115 competitors from Mexico, the U.S., Chile, Colombia, Cuba, among others. The winner here will compete at the 2023 World Pizza Championships in Parma, Italy. The Argentinian contest winds up tonight. We'll let you know who wins.
Yes.
All right, Lisa Briggs is here from the Bruce Company, taking your plant and garden questions.
Hi, Lisa.
270-9933. What did you bring here?
I brought a collection of begonias.
Those are begonias?
I love the polka dot one.
Yeah, this is a very fancy begonia. This one is called escargot because it's got the
we
little
had that in the
swirly.
newsroom.
I know, I love that one.
You left one for us.
Yeah, and then this is just, I just love them. They have great foliage.
And they flower?
They do, but not as much as like the ones you're used to with those big juicy, bright colored flowers.
All right, got lots of calls as usual. We'll start with Jane from Madison. Hi, Jane, what's your question?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. My question is about my White Nancy ground cover. It was really healthy this spring. It looked really good like it always does. And now something is eating it. It's like all of the leaves are just gone and there's just all these stems sticking up. And I although I have some rabbits and critters, I don't think it's that. There doesn't seem to be that many of them. So what do you think is eating my White Nancy?
I think if you have whole leaves gone with just stems, it's got to be rabbits, especially if you look at those stems and they're nice, clean cuts. So you're going to want either a barrier or you can use a scent barrier. So I like to use granulated predator urine. I like to say that as often as possible. But I was really successful with it last year, keeping the bunnies away from my hostel. So give that a try.
There are so many rabbits.
I know, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere right now.
They're a scourge. But a scourge.
Let's go to Steve in Wanakee. Hi, Steve. What's your question?
Yes, I have about 30 arborvitaes, and they're about 8 feet tall, and the foliage is so thick on them that even when it rains, they just droop right over. Do I need to prune them back or what?
I wouldn't prune I wouldn't prune them back. Arborvitae don't like heavy shearing. You could lightly shear them after the new growth starts to harden, so end of the month or into early July. But what you would do is make sure that they're getting well watered. Arborvitae are thirsty, and it's been really dry today, notwithstanding. So I do that and maybe throw some mulch on the root area to keep the moisture in the soil.
Okay, let's go to Sherry in Sun Prairie. Hi, what's your question?
Hi, so I have a bunch of peonies and I wanted to transplant them. When can I transplant them? And also, can I do it up north where there's sandy soil?
Sure. The best time to transplant peonies is at the end of the summer, so late September. Okay. And with sandy soil, I would just make sure that you throw in some organic matter, like some compost or something in there to help them out a little bit.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then I had another one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we have a magnolia tree in our front yard. It's about 7-8 years old, and it budded. It was full of buds. They dried up, and it never flowered at all this spring, like literally dried up.
I would check a couple things. I would check to see if there's any damage to the bark down low. Maybe an animal sort of girdled it and caused the tree, and if that's the case, that's not coming back. I would also check and see if you see any like bumpy warts on some of those stems. That would be a sign of magnolia scale. So check those things and see what you can find.
All right.
Okay, all right, let's go to Roseanne in New Glarus. Hi, Roseanne, what's your question?
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I love my plants, but I do have one problem with taking care of petunia baskets. By later in the summer, they're very scraggly. What's your advice on those?
Feed them. So
feed me.
Feed me. Petunias like full sun and they're heavy feeders. So by the time you get your baskets from the greenhouse, they're at the end of the fertilizer. So you either use a water soluble that you spray on or a slow release right in the soil. That will help.
It'll help, but not by August they get to be a little stringy.
Yeah, and prune them back. You can do that too.
All right, Sarah in Madison. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I have a question on my magnolia tree. So it's a little different than the last caller. My tree got the buds on it, the little felt things. Half of it bloomed, half of it didn't. Half of it's got green leaves, half of it is just now sprouting green leaves.
So if it is just behind, if it is sprouting green leaves, that's great. Make sure that you don't let it get stressed out by any dry weather, so make sure it gets watered, and then maybe look really closely at those slow stems and see if you see any signs of magnolia scale, because you'll want to treat that.
How do you treat it?
Yeah, how do you treat that?
How do you treat magnolia scale? So the best time to do it is during the dormancy period. You put on a dormant oil, but you can use a systemic like Bio Advanced Tree and Shrub Care, and that you pour right on the ground. It's super easy to deal with.
We are out of time. Lots of calls as usual. Thank you all for calling in. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
Final check of your forecast coming up.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Do you struggle to open or close your windows? Are they drafty or leaky? Are you constantly adjusting your thermostat only to have your energy bill skyrocket? If you're nodding your head yes, Renewal by Andersen is your best solution. They custom build and install weather-tight replacement windows and back them with a generous, fully transferable limited warranty.
Call now to schedule your free design consultation. Plus, take advantage of this limited time offer with incredible savings and attractive financing. Don't miss out. Call Renewal by Andersen today.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
New routes were approved for Madison's Metro Transit. How the redesign will help commuters. And Governor Tony Evers calls for a special session to repeal Wisconsin's abortion law. Will it happen? We'll talk about it coming up at 5. We're hitting the greens for the Geo's Garden Golf Classic. Join News 3 Now June 13th at Hawks Landing Golf Course. Proceeds help bring vital respite services to area special needs families. Register now at geosgarden.org.
Well, the steady rainfall is falling further away off to the east for us right now. We might still see a few light isolated showers over the next few hours, with things drying up for us overnight, and that means sunshine for Thursday. High temperatures on Thursday expected to climb up into the mid-70s. So another pretty seasonable day before rain chances return on Friday.
All right, Jana, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live Before, Dr. Zorba Pastor will be along answering your medical questions live.
And our Traveler Throwback Thursday visits a janitorial trade show. Well, it sounds like a blast, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Actually, this is a lot more fun than you might think. That's coming up tomorrow.
It's a short drive to big adventure at the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium in the Port of Dubuque. General admission gets you access to all exhibits for 2 consecutive days. Plan your adventure at rivermuseum.com.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
He has his grandfather's smile,
Her mother's eyes.
my cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease.
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
The challenges we face today feel monumental. Inflation, gas prices, and now an unthinkable threat to a woman's right to choose. I'm Alex Lazary, and I have a track record of getting things done. That's how you know I'll work for you. By lowering prescription drug prices, putting more money into people's pockets, and protecting every woman's right to choose, no matter what. This is why we must defeat Ron Johnson and start meeting our challenges head on. That's why I approve this message.
It's time to get up close and personal with nature while getting hands-on with science. Make plans to visit the National Mississippi River Museum and Aquarium in the Port of Dubuque, Iowa, for new exhibits, new films, and new experiences.
In today's Final Touch, it's a bold biological push to save a suffering species.
And it involves getting up close and personal with wild wolves. What's happening is an ambitious multi-state effort involving officials sneaking zoo-born wolf pups into wolf packs in the wild. 11 newborn Mexican wolf pups described as genetically valuable were bred in zoos in New York, Illinois, Texas, and other states in a bold plan to introduce genetic diversity into the dwindling Mexican wolf population. The pups, zoo's biologists and vets then transferred to 2 sites in New Mexico and Arizona, where they were literally snuck into newborn litters in wild wolf dens. Experts say the pack mother will raise all of the pups as her own, giving the mix of zoo-born and wild pups the same survival rate. Interesting. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.